Hedgespeth, the Outreach and Wellness Manager for Urbana Park District. And this week for Move It Monday, I'm doing a second installment of stretches and yoga poses for back pain. So this week we're actually going to focus not only on stretches for the back, but also stretches for the hips, because oftentimes tightness or pain within the hips can radiate into the lower back as well. So it's a good idea to stretch those out. I'm going to start with some standing stretches for a couple of different reasons. First of all, I realize that maybe the floor isn't always accessible to everyone. And secondly, a few of these that I'm going to show you are very easily done if you're taking a quick break at work or maybe a quick break from working at home. So all you need for some of these is a chair or a surface that you can put your hands on and lean. So first things first, you're going to get behind your chair, hands on it, split your stance, and this one's more for the hips. So after you've split your stance, you're going to tilt the pelvis forward slightly, okay? Just a simple tilt of the pelvis, and I bend my back knee a little bit, and I'm feeling a nice stretch in my hip, okay? So I'll go ahead and switch, splitting my stance. I get set, and then I just ever so slightly tilt the pelvis, slight bend in the back knee, and you can feel a stretching or an elongating right there in the hip joint. Okay? So this is a variation of this one you can do standing. If you want to go a little bit deeper, or if you have the space and the floor is accessible to you, you can always drop to a knee, so you're at 90 degrees and 90 degrees. And then once you're here, same kind of stretch down here on the ground. You're going to shift your weight forward and stretch out the hip that way. Holding for as long as you feel comfortable to get a good stretch. So we'll switch. Pushing the hips forward, shifting the weight. Okay, so it's just a variation you can do down on the ground. I wanted to show another one just really quickly that you can do in a chair. And I'll show you a little bit from the side here. So for this, you want to be more so on the edge of your chair, okay? And in the last installment, I showed how to do a figure 4 stretch down on the ground. But this is a version of the figure 4 stretch that you can do in a chair, even if you're just at your desk or for whatever reason. So go ahead and pick up one leg, ankle right above the knee, flex the foot, all right? So you're still kind of creating that 4 with your legs. Sitting up nice and tall, okay? And already I have super tight hips and lower back, so I'm feeling a stretch here already. To deepen that, let's go ahead and lead with the chest, nice straight back. And the further I'm taking my torso forward here with a nice straight back, the more I am feeling a release in my glutes, hip, and the side of my lower back here. Whenever you're ready, just release up. Okay, switching sides. Another reason you want to be at the edge of your chair here is because you can see I want my feet directly under my knees here. I want a nice 90 degrees to start this pose. So other side, ankle up above knee, foot flexed, sitting up nice and tall, and then we're going to lead with the heart and just ever so slightly leaning forward, and you can feel the stretch and release there in the glutes, hips, and upper lower back. All right? So those were just a few you can do using the chair. The next one is one that I really like to do when I'm feeling some hip pain that is just, it's radiating into the lower back, upper glute area, okay? So right in here. And for this one, you don't necessarily need a yoga block, but if touching your toes is a little bit difficult for you, totally fine. A yoga block is just going to help make that more accessible and basically bring the floor up to you, all right? So for this one, feet under hips, we're going to start by just doing a forward fold. So you're leaning over, and again, you can have that block at whatever height you need to, all right? So I'm stretching out the hamstrings here. In order to bring it into one side, I'm going to bend my left knee, thus pushing my weight, and then I'm going to reach over to the same side that I have my bent knee. All right, and I'm just gonna hold here. This is an absolutely excellent stretch for the side of the hip, up into the glutes and the lower back. Coming out of this, let's go ahead and move back to the center. Straighten the leg. Let's do the other side. So bending the right knee. That forces my weight into the opposite side. I'm going to move my block. You may find when doing this that one side is definitely more sore and tight than the other. So holding here, and again, feeling just a really nice stretch and release all the way from like the lower back on this side down in through the hip and glute. Coming out of it, bring your block or your hands back to the middle, and let's just roll up. Okay? That's always a really nice one to do, and even just the subtle bending of that knee and pushing your weight onto one side, it's such a nice release. Last one I want to show you, down on the ground. So if the floor is accessible to you, this is a good one to do. It does involve twisting though, so please be very, very careful. Anytime we're twisting the spine, we need to make sure that we're doing it safely. So if this is just already sounding like a bad idea for you, don't go for it. However, if you're wanting to give it a try, go ahead and lay down, okay? Let's go ahead and straighten both legs. Arms can come out to the side. We're going to do a twist. So raising the right knee 90 degrees, bring it across your body, and you can use your hand to help yourself. Key here is to keep the opposite shoulder down, okay? Because it's going to want to come up off the mat. Keep it down. All right, so that may mean you can't go as deep in your twist. Now, you'll notice with my knee bent, that's getting a little bit more release into the back. If you want to feel the release more into your hip and glute, straighten the top leg out. All right, so two variations there. Bent leg gets more into the back, straight leg gets more into the hip. Let's release, and other side. So 90 degrees, draw it over, keeping the shoulder down. Okay, again, if you want to get into the hip there and stretch that out, straighten the leg. Draw it back up, and reset. So again, this is Elsie Hedgespeth for Urbana Park District. Thanks for joining.